Hey there survivors, how's it going? I'm your host Douglas here at Dromboy Productions, bringing you another Holy Grail video. Guys, I know we have a lot of really cool stuff come through the channel, but today's piece is no understatement one of the rarest pieces I have ever found. It is one of the rarest pieces in the entire mask hobby, and the fact that one of these even exists is absolutely insane. But today is a very special day for more reasons than just what this item is, and for more reasons than I just received this awesome Hallow Wicked Darby O'Trill exclusive t-shirt. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a look at the back. Check out that fresh Chapter 17 logo with the spider webs. Anyways, today's video is going to be focused on a really cool mask. And whenever I use the term Holy Grail, that is something that is often used just to describe someone's personal favorite item that they want, something that they've lusted after for quite a while, if it's a collectible or maybe a screen use prop, something like that. But this piece is truly of mythical level as far as how rare it is. For many years, these were so mythical that literally there were just a few photos, and I do mean a few, very few photos of these existing in very blurry quality, and they were older pictures. So to actually have something like this here to be able to show to you all on camera is truly like a historical moment. Like I said, above all the other vintage masks that I've come across, this is truly one of the most special. My hands are shaking a little bit, guys, because this is just truly that special. And for those of you who are seasoned mask collectors, or for those of you who know your stuff, I think you will agree this is a historical level find. I've only been talking for a couple of minutes, but it feels like I've been hyping this up for an eternity, so I'm gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. Here we have the only known existing sealed original Ghostmaker kit. Guys, this is unbelievable. For those of you who know the story of the Ghostmakers, you know that this is truly incredible. I'm going to go ahead and give you a very brief history on it. These were created by Alturian Factory. This is known as the Ghostmaker kits, and these were made by Tony Gardner, Lauren Githens, and Chet Zar. They have a very unique, very rich history, and they are known as one of the most elusive, like I said, mythical level, because it's just been stories, type pieces in the entire horror world. You've got your 75 Kirks out there, you've got your tagged Fantastic Faces Gen 1s, a handful of those out there. You know, there's really higher end, hard to find stuff like that. This one is a very odd niche piece, but like I said, for what it is, this is truly legendary. I'll give you all a quick look at the packaging here, showing you that it is complete and originally sealed. And I'll go ahead and read the front. So at the top here it says, "This mask has been created for you by Tony Gardner and his talented artists at the Alturian Ghost Factory Incorporated. Mr. Gardner has been responsible for the spectacular makeup effects seen in such films as Universal Studios' blockbuster hit Darkman, USA Network's Swamp Thing, and Paramount Studios' The Addams Family. Copyright 1991, the Alturian Ghost Factory Incorporated. Collect the whole Ghostmaker family. From left to right, we have Lil Boo Boo, Lil Sarah Spook, Lil Ghost Dude, Lovely Tate, The Wailer, and Screech." And then, of course, for the artwork here, this very well-known artwork, it says, "Turn your tired old bedsheet into a spooky Halloween costume." And then at the bottom, kit includes ghost face, 6 paints, brush, sandpaper, glue, and instructions. Kit can also be used as a creepy decoration. On the other side, you have the Ghostmaker kit font, the Alturian Ghost Factory logo up here, and this one says Little Ghostmaker Kit. Now, I do want to go ahead, you know what, we'll talk about the size in a minute. As for what's included, you still have everything in here. You can see the brush, you can see the paints, the original glue, and of course the uncut plastic mask for Little Sarah Spook. Guys, this is absolutely incredible. I can feel myself sweating right now. I know that I'm really nerding out over this, but this is a massive deal. Over everything that's in this room, all of the rare collectibles, the one-of-a-kind pieces, the screen use props, this is possibly historically one of the most significant, and just personally to me the most significant, and I'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, there it is, completely brand new, completely sealed, all these years later. This is just absolutely incredible, guys. And this was found hanging in the very same costume shop that it's been in for the past 30 plus years. There are photos of it hanging in that shop, and it's absolutely incredible. When I was reached out to about this, I could not believe it. And speaking of which, I want to give a massive thank you to Kyle for seeing this and reaching out to me. He had seen my previous video on the Ghost Makers, and as some of you may remember, I was actually involved with helping recreate the Ghost Maker kits. A while back, I worked with some other artists to create these. These are the replica Ghost Makers. This artwork that you see on the front here was painted by myself, as well as the little caricatures of all the other Ghost Maker family. And of course, you have the mask here. I went ahead and assembled the kits that I have. I have videos on this. I'm sure many of you who are watching may have seen it. If not, you can go check out those videos. But this is the mask known as the Wailer. Besides the little Sarah Spook, this is the only better mask it possibly could have been. But the Sarah Spook is really, really personal to me. I also wanted to show you guys, as a special treat, I brought these out of my portfolio. Here we have the original hand-painted paintings that I did for the Ghost Maker kits. Whenever I was creating these, I had next to no reference to work with. I'm pretty confident the photo was like of a rat-chewed insert for the Ghost Maker, and then you could just kind of see like really, really low quality images of these ghosts. So they're not 100% perfect, but comparing it to the real deal, I think I actually accomplished recreating these pretty well. And knowing that I had the hand in helping recreate these and bring them back, and now actually owning one of the originals is absolutely insane. It feels like things have really come full circle, but not quite fully yet, because another big connection here is this. Many of you know my personal mask, the Drowned Ghoul. This in particular is the Drowned Ghoul V1. This is the first copy. This is the one I wore for a very, very long time. There's been many, many different iterations though. This is the V1 sculpture. There was a V2 done by Christian Olofsson, and then I did the V3. My personal mask was heavily inspired by the Sarah Spook. Whenever I was doing all the different sketches, coming up with my own original mask design, it was basically trying to mix my own personal facial features with the Sarah Spook and creating something out of that. And there were many different versions, but after redefining it with my friend Glock Inc., this is what we came up with. This particular copy was sculpted by Ryan over at Nightmare Fuel Studios, and this is just incredibly special to know that the mask that was made 30 plus years ago that inspired my personal mask look is now here with me, and it's the only copy known to exist in the world. There is one other kit that is mostly complete, however, it's a bit worn and torn. It's also been opened, and that's owned by the creator, Lauren Githens. So the likelihood that he had one was much higher than finding one of these out in the wild, and his surfacing at the time was the only one known to exist. However, this is absolutely insane. The likelihood of this happening is literally insane. For 30 plus years, none of these had surfaced. However, within the same week, Caleb Durham actually ended up finding a Ghost Maker that was one that had been actually converted, it had been trimmed, it had been painted. I don't think it had any fabric attached to it, but it was the mask itself. He found one on eBay for a stellar price. So the fact that he found one was absolutely insane, and it was a different version than Lauren's copy. And then, right after that, this one, a sealed original, has popped up. So we have a kit that's open, we have a kit that's actually been painted and put together, and we have an original now existing, and all three copies are different, which is absolutely insane, and I love that. Now, I had also mentioned something about size. This is known as Lil Sarah Spook. If you noticed, 3 of the designs had Lil in front of them. And here we have a full-sized Ghost Maker. This is the version that Lauren still had. He did make a copy of it. I was able to get one of these, luckily, and I went ahead and, of course, and painted and finished mine to have it here on display alongside the replicas. But now I have an original also to display alongside this. And it also is a very, very cool thing because you guys can see the size difference. I imagine that the original kits, I don't know, It would definitely not fit inside of this. So I imagine the full-size kits were actually much larger than these, but these were the smaller ones, perhaps intended for children. More than likely that's what it was. But it's just really cool to be able to show you the size difference between the little versions and the full-size versions. Guys, everything about this is just absolutely insane. Like I said, it's the sculpture that overall, all these years later, inspired the face that I've been wearing for all these years as a collector of this stuff. And it's crazy. The fact that I also did have the involvement with helping recreate the artwork is also really, really crazy on a personal level. It's not exact, but I think it's pretty darn good for the terrible, terrible quality reference that I had at the time that I was creating this. And I don't think I mentioned this, but the day that Kyle actually offered me this was the day that I completed setting up the museum. So just timing-wise, everything about this feels very unique and very special. For those of you who have stuck with the channel this long, for those of you who have cared about the history of this stuff, and for those of you who have seen things like this and reached out to me before, I really, really greatly appreciate it. And being able to now share this with the public has been truly a dream come true. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I don't know where we go from here, but I hope to see you there. See you next time.